Aloha, we are here at the Hilton Hawaiian Village, and I am so lucky to have this opportunity to talk story and sit next to an incredible actor with an extensive career, acting resume, and all of these credits. You also may recognize him from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody on Disney Channel as Esteban, Adrian R'Mante.
Actually, Esteban, Julio, Ricardo, Montoya, de Rosa, Ramirez. To be correct.
I am fangirling over here. Wait, can you just do... I'm just kidding. Well,
I'll do
Adrian,
whatever.
Thank you. It's so nice that you are here in Hawaii, and I'm starstruck. Like, I grew up watching you on The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and I must say, you are a superstar in my eyes, and you actually worked on the production for 8 years.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about that? Just your experience on the show, your relationship with all the other actors and whatnot.
I could be here forever telling you the story, but I will say that it's quite simple. It was just another audition, you know? And when as I pursue acting in my 20s, I kind of approached the industry as a business, which everybody should, even though it's a dream, right? So I actually had 2 careers going at the same time. I used to be a 9th and 10th grade high school English teacher.
Wow.
And I pursued acting. And the reason why I decided to do that is because I never wanted to give up my dream of acting, right? Because you get a ton of auditions, you get a lot of no's, you get a few yeses, that's just our business. And when I got the audition for The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, it was the Disney Channel. And I was like, Disney Channel? You know, I gotta remember, this is in 2004.
At the peak of Disney
but
shows.
I was an adult, you know? I wasn't into Disney at the time,
right, okay.
you know? And I didn't know it was a juggernaut. I had no clue. So when I told my agent, I said, Disney? He's like, yes. And he convinced me, like, you get this role and your life's gonna change forever.
Right.
So then, of course, I'm like, okay, let's go. So I put my effort into it, and the description was 20-year-old bellhop, immigrant, you know, excited to have a job in America, worked at this well-known, you know, hotel down in Boston. So I kind of did my background. I went in there and I used to audition for a bunch of Spanish roles. So I didn't want to do another Spanish accent. So I did like a very creative, fun accent, like, oh, Mr. Mosby, this is the best place in the world. And I just made him very happy. And I don't know, I did my hands like this in my shoulders and I had a certain walk. And then I went into it like that and they just loved it.
Wow.
And, you know, we were talking off air about, you know, between you and another person for a role. That happens all the time. So I nailed this audition, and I'm like, I didn't even get too excited because I'm like, it's going to be the other guy again. Because I used to go against really famous people. Right. Now they're famous, but back then we were all on the come up, you know. And it's like Jay Hernandez, Mario Lopez, these different types of actors. Michael Pena. I was like against Michael Pena several times. He doesn't know me, but I know him because I was up against him a lot.
Right.
It was one, and just in case Michael ever watches this, we were both up for the same role in Semper Fi, directed by Steven Spielberg, and you got the role and I didn't. And this was early in my career. So then this was my moment. This was the moment where I got the role and they didn't. And so I just went in there and I just remember the producers loved it. And they told my agent, we want him, but now we got to convince the suits at Disney.
Right.
So they had me do the audition again and clean shave because back then there was no facial hair on Disney. Believe it or not. It's different now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I had to get rid of my goatee because I went in there with a goatee to look extra Latino. And I got the call literally within 3 days. It all happened in 3 days.
And that's probably when your life changed forever.
Forever.
Like you mentioned.
Forever.
And from there, I mean, now you are continuing to act, right?
Yes, I do.
But I didn't know that you were a teacher while also pursuing your acting career, which probably leads you to where we are today, because we are currently in Hawaii. You flew all the way from Florida, and you have an acting program called CGTV. Can you tell us a little bit about that and where that shift happened from?
Yeah, CGTV is an acronym for Creative Group Television. I was going to say celebrity group television because I grab my celebrity friends and we work with young aspiring actors between teens, kids, and young adults. But I was like, that's so cliche. So let me just we're a creative group where a bunch of kids want to be on television. So that's kind of where I came up with the acronym. And it just kind of stuck. And all I did is when I was a teacher, I loved it. I loved changing lives. I used to teach kids English, right?
Wow.
And the coolest part about that is I was a Mexican teaching English. There you go. And teaching them how to write essays. And when you see a kid's life change, it does something to you. Every teacher out there knows what I'm talking about. It literally does something for you. But when I got to Sweet Life, I didn't have to go back to my real job, right?
Yeah.
So a veteran actor like myself knows that all good things come to an end in our business. No series lasts forever. So I was thinking, how can I turn this over into something successful or creative for me? So I always wanted to be a business owner. So I put my two loves together, teaching and acting, and I've created CGTV, where I find undiscovered talent, knowing that mostly all of them have no experience, like I did. You know, I didn't have experience either, but you got to start somewhere.
And very inspirational, you know.
Thank you. And so the younger they are, believe it or not, the better it is. It's like putting your kids in gymnastics. Do you want to put them in gymnastics at 10 years old or 5 years old?
Right.
You know, imagine
Absolutely.
when they get 10, they're going to outdo that 10-year-old who's just starting gymnastics. So I feel the same way about acting. I have a few kids I've been working since they were 5 and 6, and now they're 8 and 9, and they're like amazing.
Do you have any success stories or anyone that we know are on TV right now?
I have a ton.
Can you say?
Yes, for a local success story here in Hawaii, I have a kid named Matt Sato. He's one of the biggest success stories I have because
yes, we spoke to Matt too.
So you know Matt, right? So, you know, his mom tried other companies, and the thing about it is I'm very authentic. You know, I don't sell a dream. You know, I sell reality through your dream. You know what I mean? And I just keep it real with you. You got to audition, you got to practice, you got to put the work in. If you have a kid that wants to be an actor, you as a parent know if this is the right thing to put them in, because they have to work hard. It's just like any sport, and they have to love it. And you know, he's done a lot of stuff, but I guess his biggest thing is Doogie Howser, that was filmed here on the island. But he got a couple things before that. He's also been in High School Musical, Saved by the Bell. He's done a great thing. And I've discovered a lot of other kids, but one of my favorite discoveries was this little kid who was 5 years old, who showed up to my audition, fell in love with him. His mom didn't know where to put him. She just knew he entertained the heck out of her. So she put him in my program, and he booked, you know, job of a lifetime. He was Georgie in the movie It. Little Georgie.
What?
Yes, Stephen King hired him, said, that's my kid. And the rest is history. He's gone on to do major things. And I can give you more, but there's a couple that give you an idea.
Right, and this is probably just like a full circle moment for you, right? Like you said, you didn't even know that you were going to be where you are today as an incredible actor with all of these things. And the fact that you can pay it forward to these kids who are trying to pursue that, I think that's amazing.
You want to know something that's even crazier? And talk about paying it forward. My manager, her name is Nancy Bernal here on the island. She's amazing. She literally got me in a phenomenal job on Magnum PI, okay?
Wow.
And the story was about chasing this kid around or something. I don't know. I mean, all I know is I'm on set about to film my scenes with Jay Hernandez, who I used to compete against. Now I'm on his show as a guest star. And then I just have this random dad go, yo, Adrian. I turn around, and it's like, it's the father of a kid that took my program here in Hawaii.
Wow.
His son got cast as the main lead in that as the kid. And here I am on the show with him, and he took my program, and he's on the show because of my program.
You guys are all just on the same show.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Wild.
That is wild.
Wild.
Well, one, Hawaii is so small, so I'm sure you've seen all of that. And that is crazy. That is
That was probably the most, you know, emotional moment for me, because it's like full circle, like you said.
Okay, so I have to know, because I was a huge London Tipton fan in The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. I thought I was her. But can you tell me some of your most memorable moments with Brenda's song?
Oh my gosh, where do I start? You believe it or not, I know she played dumb as rocks on the show, but she's very intelligent. Very intelligent. And I think that's why she played it so well, right? Because she is so smart. And she's just, you know, just a legend in this industry. Everybody knows her, and she's been always so loving to me, and those things you remember. You don't stay as close to the cast. You're in the moment of the show, and you guys bond, but then people just go their own ways. But you'll always have this as like,
we started together, like we came up from here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just easy to say. If you ask me about Phil, I can tell you many memories. Brenda, we've had some of the best episodes together, especially when she taught Esteban how to be rich. That was like one of my favorite episodes of all time, and she was just so on point with it. And a little thing about her, she was only supposed to be a guest star role, but she did so well, boom, they give her a series regular. True story. And you do know London Tipton is a play of like Paris Hilton. Yeah,
yes.
We all know this. Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Yes,
some people don't get that. And so yeah, but that's it. I had some of my best episodes with her and Ashley, believe it or not. So
wow.
So yeah, that was great.
And then just in general, I mean, fun fact, I worked for Disneyland a while ago when I was in college. I went to school in LA and I got to play Moana and Gamora. I know it's part of like the Disney magic, and Pocahontas. So because you're, part of the Disney family and that's forever engraved, how does that make you feel? Like just, you were in a Disney TV show.
I even said
forever.
If I would have gotten the Semper Fi that I wanted from Steven Spielberg, I wanted it. And nothing ever came, like just that one movie, you probably wouldn't know me today. I'd just be a journeyman actor unless I get a big show. And then you just become fans of that show. But The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and Disney Channel is world renowned. So the fact that I'm known all over the world is humbling. It's creepy. You know what I mean? I'll just be randomly doing something in a business, and I just get the person behind the desk just go,
is that?
And I'm like, Esteban. No way, shut up. And then they were so professional until I told them it was me. Then all of a sudden they become,
right.
Your reaction. It's awesome. We love it. And I just never knew it was going to be that big. But it is humbling and it's amazing. And it's allowed me to create probably one of the best TV and film programs for kids in the world.
Wow. So inspirational. I'm so very honored to
Thank
have
you.
the time to speak with you. And before we end this interview, where can people keep up with you on CGTV's Instagram or your personal Instagram or anything like that? Just give us those links.
Well, anybody watching this, if you have any kids out there, teens or young adults that want to be actors, it's very simple. I tend to audition a couple times a year on the Big Island, well, not the Big Island, but Oahu. But I do go to other islands here and there, and I have one coming up May 31st in Maui. So if you're interested, you can email joy@cgtv.la that you heard about this from this show. Make sure you drop this show, and we'll make sure you get a VIP treatment for the audition. But just show your personality, have fun with it, and don't be self-conscious. Those are for old people, all right? And as far as my personal contact, all of my social media is this, @Adrian R'Mante. That's it, @Adrian R'Mante, ADRIAN RMANTE. And that's for Instagram, TikTok, and what else do I have? Facebook.
Well, Adrian, thank you so much for being here. And
Of course.
I'm going to have to audition myself, too.
No, you got in. You're all right. I've been testing her with this interview. She passed.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's nice to meet you. Bye, everybody.